Tom, I should ask you, recently we had the fall economic statement in Ottawa by Canada's Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland. Anything stand out to you from that fall economic statement?
Well, I have to tell you, I don't really pay much attention to it because it's all verbiage. I'm interested in what you do. I'm not interested in what you say. It's like when I invest in a company, I said, I'm not interested in good ideas. I'm only interested in people who can execute. And that's exactly the same in government. Show me what you're going to do. Because I'm watching it, and what you're doing is you're spending money like drunken sailors. Mind you, drunken sailors spend their own money. But, this is something that is a concern to me. So no matter what they say, I haven't seen anything in the way of really creating growth, or not creating growth, but creating the conditions for growth. And everybody, on one hand, the government says we're going to do these things. And by the way, here's a whole bunch of money for not working. We're printing money to anybody who seems aggrieved or sees themselves as victims. We just throw money at them. That's not the solution to most problems. I mean, it's in some cases like throwing money at an alcoholic. It's not going to help them. You're not really benefiting anybody that way. You're just encouraging that sort of behavior. And again, I understand when people are having tough times, you help people out. But we're going beyond that, I think, at the governmental level. And it's vote buying, basically, with our children's money, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of criticism. Obviously, the outward bound 5-year growth rates are going to be under 2%, which means you can't be spending at 6% or 7% increases in government spending when the economic growth rate. The short term was fine because there was a bounce back in business activity, so the Canadian government could get more tax revenue, but no one believes that the federal government, as to your point, it has the ability to rein in its own spending. That's basically the problem, right?
Well, what's that phrase? There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government policy, and they just can't stop spending money. It's like Trudeau the First. It's exactly the same. They can't stop spending money, and frankly, there's been no effective voice really speaking out about this to Canadians so that people could understand the issues at hand. So I don't see that we're creating conditions. We're creating debt, tremendous amounts of debt. And I see, by the way, the central banks in both countries as complicit. I think the governor of the Bank of Canada or the head of the Fed should go to the president or the prime minister and say, listen, if you keep spending this money, interest rates are going here. We're not going to keep rates low just so you can be profligate in your spending. I think the central banks have a responsibility to the integrity of the currency.
Right.
Never mind job creation or anything else, that's fiscal. But their job is to protect the currency. And as that lady said, money's garbage. And what we've seen, by the way, is asset inflation. People have been the flip side to housing price and everything, people are trying to get out of cash into real stuff, whether it be stocks or anything else. They're trying to get out of cash because they're losing their confidence in it. And inflation at 2%, that's nonsense. It's just not going to happen. And even when it was 2%, it wasn't 2%. We're way higher than that. It's always been higher than that. I think we're looking at now 8, 9, 10% easily.
Mm-hmm. And that, of course, eats into people's savings, whether they like it or not. So I guess we've got about half a minute left, Tom. Overall, you're looking forward to 2022?
Well, as I keep saying, despite all the negatives out there, I'm still an incurable optimist because our system is such that people come up with ideas. They create new companies. They find ways to do things and work around the obstacles. And that's the beauty of our Western societies. And that is always very resilient. So there are grounds for optimism, period.